Está começando mais uma jornada esportiva aqui na Times Brasil. A narração é de sucesso, os comentários é de quem entende, hein? Então vem com a gente, não vai perder essa jornada esportiva. Times Brasil, paixão pelo futebol.
Olá, muito boa tarde, amigos e amigas da Times Brasil. Sejam todos muito bem-vindos. Estamos ao vivo aqui na Times Brasil. Dessa vez com o Campeonato Irlandês. É isso mesmo, Campeonato da Irlanda de futebol, tá certo? Sejam todos muito bem-vindos, né? Tô aqui na correria para ajustar questões aqui técnicas, né? Tá certo? Fica à vontade, seja bem-vindo, amigo da Times Brasil. A bola vai rolar daqui a pouquinho, né? Deixa eu só ver aqui a resposta aqui do meu teclado, né? Pra ficar bom, né? Pra ficar bom o teclado deu pau aqui. Deu pau. Mas vai dar certo, vai dar certo. Bora pro jogo, bora pro jogo. Deixa eu colocar aqui o nosso campinho tático para acompanhar a movimentação de ambas as equipes. O jogo da primeira rodada do Campeonato Irlandês de futebol. É o Campeonato Irlandês começando a temporada 2023. As equipes vão correr atrás da bola, correr atrás da bola. Bora aqui, bora, vem comigo, galera. DUNDALK e UCD DUBLIN. É a equipe do DUNDALK, uma das maiores equipes campeãs da Irlanda, pintando aqui na Times Brasil. Vamos para a primeira etapa. Campeonato Irlandês é a bola da vez aqui na Times Brasil. Até rimou, hein? Vamos lá, deixa eu só me ajeitar aqui, colocar o nosso campinho tático para acompanhar a movimentação de ambas as equipes. Só para avisar que a bola já está rolando. Temos aí 3 minutos de bola rolando. Tem falta para a equipe do DUNDALK. Falta para o DUNDALK. Deixa eu ajeitar aqui. Isso, colocar o campinho tático aí para o pessoal acompanhar a movimentação de ambas as equipes. Os times correndo atrás da bola. Primeira rodada do Campeonato Irlandês 2023, hein? Vamos pro jogo. Aumentar um pouquinho aqui para ficar legal, ficar visível para vocês, amigos da Times Brasil. Bola rolando na primeira etapa, 0-0. 0-0 por enquanto. Eu quero é gol, hein? Quanto mais gol, melhor. Quanto mais gol, melhor. DUNDALK e UCD, que é a equipe da Universidade de Dublin. Tá certo? O DUNDALK é o favorito para vencer o confronto, né? É o favorito. O jogo da primeira rodada aqui. Um jogo que espera-se muito do time da casa, né? Espera-se bastante do time da casa. Vamos ver se vai fazer ali, fazer valer o seu favoritismo, né, mano de campo. Um dos maiores campeões da Irlanda, o DUNDALK em campo. Corre a bola no meio de campo, toca a bola aqui no meio de campo. A equipe do DUNDALK ali, jogando em casa, sempre com a expectativa da vitória, né? Ali dos 3 pontos. A equipe do DUNDALK, do técnico Stefan O'Donnell. Jogando em casa, lá em DUNDALK, né? No Oriel Park, que cabem aí 4.500 torcedores, né? Todos os estádios da Liga da Irlanda, né? São estádios pequenos, né? Todos os participantes, né? Os 10 times participantes, né? O Bohemians, o Croc City, o Derry City, Dorgerda United, o DUNDALK, o St. Parks Athletic, o Shamrock Rovers, o Selborne, o Sligo Rovers e o UCD, que é a equipe de uma das equipes de da cidade, né, de Dublin, né? O UCD de Dublin é uma equipe da universidade. São 10 times que compõem a elite da Irlanda. Beleza? Tá ligado? Vem comigo, deixa o like, fortalece Brasil. Deixa eu tentar colocar aqui o nosso... deixa eu ver se eu consigo aqui a disponibilidade do áudio ambiente para ficar legal, para ficar bacana. O áudio, eu gosto de colocar um áudio ambiente, né, para ficar legal, o áudio de fundo aí, para ficar naquela atmosfera bacana. Campeonato Irlandês, né, com narração em português. Rapaz, isso é raro, hein? Isso é raro demais. 6 minutos de bola rolando, 0 a 0. Por enquanto, eu quero gol. Quanto mais gol, melhor.
Really dangerous delivery, so...
Quanto mais gol, melhor. Sem dúvida. Por enquanto, 6 minutos. Equilibrado, podemos dizer assim. Equilibrado por enquanto. É um jogo interessante, hein? Abre a temporada do Campeonato Irlandês 2023. Toca a bola, a equipe do DUNDALK vai pro ataque. Tenta ali, abre o marcador. Deixa eu também aproveitar e colocar as estatísticas, né? Eu gosto de colocar as estatísticas aqui, para o pessoal acompanhar. Fica bacana aqui. Tentar colocar aqui as estatísticas do jogo, né? Ali os escanteios, toda a informação da partida para vocês. Eu gosto sempre de tentar, né, trazer o melhor para nossas transmissões de futebol alternativo, jogos diferenciados, jogos que não é tão simples acompanhar, né? Jogos diferentes aí, sempre tentando ao máximo para você, amigo da Times Brasil. Agora sim, tá ali os escanteios, já teve um escanteio para a equipe do DUNDALK e a equipe de Dublin, ali o visitante. Bora que bora, vem comigo Brasil, deixa o like, fortalece, me ajuda aí, por favor. Eu conto com vocês para fazer essa transmissão acontecer, beleza?
Here's Hayden Muller with the long ball forward. Martin. Now it's with Boyle. Ainsley, it's a clever pass, just a little too clever for Ryan O'Kane. Beats O'Kane to the sideline. It'll be a throw in to the visiting side. Stephen O'Donnell in the Dundalk dugout this evening. His second season as Dundalk manager. He's never won an opening day match in his time in management, losing 1 and drawing 2. 2020, beaten by Waterford when he was St Pat's manager. 2021 drawing with Shamrock Rovers, also as Pat's manager, and last season a 2-2 draw with Derry City here. Memorable match. Dundalk with defending to do, which Archie Davies has done successfully. Davies. John Martin with the flick on. And the ball squirts out to Conor Malley, but the referee has spotted an infringement there against Craig Sloggett with the foul.
Interesting to see how Davies and Ainsley get on defensively tonight, because the one thing about these young lads from UCD, there's no fear. They'll be taking them on every opportunity to get. They've pace, they've power to get in behind. They're going to give them a real test going forward.
Free kick for UCD. These sort of moments may be important this evening for the students. Dundalk will be expected to dominate the game. Kieran being one of the players standing over this. Will it be a left-footed delivery by Bean? It will, and it's a good one too. Straight into the hands of Nathan Shepherd, who was alive enough to get up to the edge of his 6-yard box to see off any danger. Pace on the ball by Behan though. Here's Shepherd. Andy Boyle directing him, as is Hayden Muller. Muller receives it, and Muller goes long towards no one in particular. Now Boyle. Ryan O'Kane hasn't yet had a good opportunity to run at Michael Gallagher, and he's done well there to find Ainsley, who's happy to drift into a forward position Now it's with Malley, back for Ainsley again. Can he find the cross? Ainsley with the cross. John Martin in from his right hand position. Ball just skims off the top of his head and out for a throw in on the left hand side. Jesse Dempsey, former Wexford and Waterford underage player, will take it. There's Andy Myler, the UCD manager. John, we spoke about it before the game. What a season Myler had last season. So often when you see teams do badly, and do badly for a considerable amount of time, as his did last year, there's normally no way back from that. But somehow he managed to wrestle it back for UCD.
I did do a little Lazarus in the second half of the season, and I mean, he said it himself in his pre-match. He lost so many of his top quality players, but he never panicked. He's trying to get his message across to the players, trying to tell them how he wants to play, settle patterns in, and it really bore fruit from him come the second half of the season, and they'll just be hoping to pick up what he left off.
Ryan O'Kane has forced a corner kick for Dundalk on this left hand side. Dundalk keen to use O'Kane at every opportunity. 2022, a real breakout season for the young winger. 21 appearances, 11 starts and 3 goals. Dundalk corner kick. Conor Malley, the player to try and swing this one into the front post, away by UCD. Ryan O'Kane will scamper after this. Here's Nathan Shepherd, the Dundalk goalkeeper. UCD defenders getting Dundalk attackers out the pitch. Boyle with some space ahead of him. Now it's Ainsley. Seen plenty of it in the early stages. That's a good ball towards Houben. Houben tries to chest that down towards Malley. UCD had a player on the cover. Here's Hayden Muller now. Spent the first half of 2022 on loan at St Johnstone in Scotland. Hayden Muller, 21 years of age. Muller with the long crossfield ball, tactic that Stephen O'Donnell does like to employ. We saw so much of it last year, particularly with Mark Connolly.
He was a real expert at that. I think it's going to be faster than Dundalk this evening, looking up front with UCD. They only have Alex Nolan up there on his own, and he's chasing and he's working hard. So the Dundalk's going to have, they've got to be brave. Going to have Boyle stepping in with the ball, like he done a couple of minutes ago, and try and make that extra man in midfield for Dundalk.
Muller looking for the pace of John Martin, and Martin gets there. John Martin, and he got the toe poke to it too, and the goalkeeper manages to smother it. It's gone behind. It'll be a Dundalk corner kick. It looked like Lorcan Healy was favoured for that, but somehow John Martin managed to stretch out a toe and ask questions of Healy, and Healy had the answers, fortunately for UCD.
Done really well, John Martin. He was second favourite there. I think Dempsey was ahead of him, but great determination, pace and power. He got in and he just got a little nick on it, and Healy stood up well at the end to keep him out. Very positive with John Martin.
Corner kick for the Lily Whites. Right-footed outswinger incoming for Lorcan Healy and his defenders. He's being pressurised on his line. Corner kick is taken. Too much pace on that. Pat Houben will try and retrieve it and make something of it. He's found Greg Sloggett. Sloggett back for Houben again. Houben right-footed with the cross in, headed away. Here's Muller. And now it's back with Nathan Shepherd. Such a successful season last year, Nathan Shepherd in Dundalk colours, and was deservedly in the conversations around being the best goalkeeper in the league. Certainly Dundalk players and supporters saw enough to vote him their club player of the year. Both players and supporters gave him the accolade. Here's Malley. Malley has managed to tee up Sloggett for the shot. UCD throwing themselves in front of the ball and managed to get it away. For a second, it looked like there was an opportunity for Sloggett.
And Malley's definitely the one player I think that he's been earmarked by a lot of the supporters and the media as the one who can maybe unlock the defences for Dundalk. They've been crying out for someone stable in that number 10 role. And again, up in Weavers Park against Drogheda a couple of weeks ago, he looked excellent. He showed real glimpses of quality. So they'll want Alfie Lewis in the middle, getting the ball, being that link man as much as possible, and then Malley trying to create something up front.
Ainsley forward, cut out by Gallagher. Malley again. Malley happy to play it back to Shepherd. Alfie Lewis to Archie Davies. Not the best of passes. Davies with defending to do now. As UCD take the opportunity to come forward, that ball will break for Behan here. Behan still, he's got a good left foot on him, Behan, and he's shown it there. Fortunately for Dundalk, Nathan Shepherd well positioned to save.
Oh, great confidence by Behan there. He picked up the loose ball and he just drove straight at the heart of the Dundalk defence. He cut inside and he wasn't closed down. Good strike, good pace and power in it. Unfortunately for him, just straight down Nathan Shepherd's throat. But that's what UCD will do. They'll pounce on any mistakes, any loose passes from Dundalk, and they'll capitalise.
No goals in the Premier Division just yet. Behan with the ball forward, chasing after it is Alex Nolan. Here's Hayden Muller. This is the third time that Dundalk and UCD have met on the opening night of a league season. The last was on the opening day of the 2001-2002 season. 1-1 draw, the result on that occasion. Ryan O'Kane. Ainsley finds Hubin. Two players around him, make that three. He's managed to keep the ball though and find Alfie Lewis. Now Malley. Lewis again. Here's Hayden Muller. Slog it. Two UCD players immediately snap into a challenge around him illegally, according to the referee.
And it's very noticeable, both Dundalk wingers, John Martin and Ryan O'Kane, really holding their width, trying to leave some space in the middle for Malley and Slog. And Slog at that time had picked it up and just sandwiched in the challenge there.
Conor Malley, the player over the free kick, he seems to be the player charged with the dead balls for Dundalk this season. And it goes, it's a deep one. John Martin wins the header, but unceremoniously booted clear by UCD.
Just too much height on that ball. It wasn't enough pace and power. Even if John Martin had got it ahead on it, it's very hard to generate any pace back across the goal. I think the other one, just want to see them whipped in between the back four and the goalkeeper, get the defenders facing their own goal and cause a lot of trouble.
18 minutes in here at Oriel Park for those of you listening on LMFM's online match service on lmfm.ie or on the LMFM app. No goals at Oriel Park and no goals in the Premier Division at all. Free kick for Dundalk. Alfie Lewis for a second thought he'd left his pass short. Gallagher's header away. Malley. Now O'Kane. Galway have gone in front against Cabinteely in the First Division. Here's Conor Malley looking to find room for the shot. Malley instead elects to slip it through to John Martin. Davies is in support. Martin again dispossessed, and there's an offside in there I think against a Dundalk player in any case, perhaps from earlier in the move. Not entirely sure. Referee,
I think it was Jack Keeney and Pat Hume were kind of having a go off each other, and he said Pat had a hold of him inside because the linesman didn't have the flag up. He seems really up for the battle, Keeney. The previous free kick, he was jostling Andy Boyle and pulling and dragging him. He's a big physical presence there for UCD. He'll have his hands full with Pat, but he seems up for the task.
Former Sligo midfielder Jack Keeney operating at centre back, captained UCD in the week to the Collingwood Cup. He actually scored against Dundalk for Sligo Rovers here at Oriel Park in early 2019. Ryan O'Kane, Ainsley. Alfie Lewis looking to pressure Brendan Barr, but Barr successful in getting it away, unsuccessful in keeping it in play. Here's Alfie Lewis. Hubin, fully recovered from the injury that saw him miss so much of last season. Pat Hooban.
He's a real talisman for Dundalk. When he was out of the team last year for the first 4 or 5 weeks, didn't really cope well with it, and having him back a full pre-season under his belt is great, and he's that record in his sights, and he'll hopefully hit it this year.
Last goal for Dundalk was against Derry City, which was his last game last season on August 5th. Certainly that was the match in which he picked up that injury. Memorable goal it was too here, John, wasn't it, that header for Hooban against Derry City?
But he's the one everyone looks for in the field, and he can create something off, get on the end that crosses. He's a real target man for him, links the play very, very well, and I think it's a real sign of himself and maturing as a player over the last number of years, that he can drop deep and players running behind him, and he's just an all-round very, very good player.
Here's Greg Sloggett. Now Malley, his first touch brings him away from Brendan Barr, and Barr just sticks out a leg, and Malley successful in buying the foul. Free kick to Dundalk in a good position here.
Yeah, it's just that nice distance outside the box. He just let the ball run across him, and then dragged it back, looking for it, striking his right foot, and he bought that one off the referee. Look at that, but it's a dangerous one here, and Pat Hooban, he definitely fancies this one.
Pat Hooban and Greg Sloggett, the players closest to the ball. I think there's no doubt that the player adjusting his footwear will be the one to take it. Hooban, just a short 3-yard run up to the ball. Lorcan Healy with 3 men in the wall between Hooban and the goal. Pat Hooban, can he find a way past that wall? Greg Sloggett makes the decoy run. Hooban tries to slip it in, and that's going to be a penalty. John Martin, the player, fouled, and it was like a Dutch free kick from the World Cup. Wout Weghorst, the player, on the end of it at the World Cup. It didn't come off in terms of a goal, but it's come off in terms of a penalty kick to the Lily Whites.
Yeah, well, before we even seen the replay, I looked at the first glance, it definitely was. Pat Hooban disguised it quite well, rolled it down the side into John Martin. It definitely looked like he was hauled down. I think a yellow card shown to Kieran Behan, but we'll see it in the replay. But initial reaction is that the referee's gotten that decision correct.
So a yellow card for Kieran Behan, but much more importantly, a chance for Pat Hooban to score his first goal since August 5th last year. Pat Hooban against Lorcan Healy. Can Healy keep him out? Keep Dundalk out? Hooban, a little dance and the step up, and Healy has saved it. Gets down really well. Dundalk do still have it. Healy saves again, and UCD get it clear. Credit
the goalkeeper there. That's an excellent save. He's put that right into the bottom corner, but the keeper's gone full length to his left, and he's pulled off an excellent save, and that'll give UCD confidence now.
Well, Pat Hooban will be disappointed. He'll have felt that he should have scored from that position, and of course he should. But let's give credit to Lorcan Healy.
Yeah, I think the keeper deserves all the credit there. It's a really, really good save. It's not like Pat. He usually puts his foot through them and actually buries them, but he tried to place that one. It looked like it was going right inside the post.
Here is that penalty again, and it is a good save by Healy.
Yeah, you've got to give the keeper the credit there. He guessed right, threw himself a full length, good strong wrist on it.
And Pat Hooban will have to wait for his 136th goal in Dundalk colours. Closing in, of course, on the all-time Dundalk record held by Joey Donnelly. He's just 7 off it at the moment. Might have been 6 off it had that gone in. It didn't. It remains 0-0 at Oriel Park. Dundalk supporters will have to wait for their first goal of 2023. Here's Hooban involved again, and he's dispossessed. UCD come forward. That's a good shot and a good save from Nathan Shepherd. Well, Lorcan Healy at one end makes a superb save. This time it's Nathan Shepherd who goes full length to push that wide.
I think that's an even better save than the penalty save. You don't strike them any better than that. It's going right into the top corner.
Wonderful save by Nathan Shepherd to deny, well, Donald Higgins, who was with the strike, right-footed. It's a corner kick for UCD. Andy Boyle manages to get it up into the air. Good first touch by John Martin to bring it away from the penalty area. And, well, the referee has given the throw in to the visiting side. UCD not here to make up the numbers.
And that's what they do. They'll pounce on any mistakes, any sloppy play by Dundalk, just as they did there. They intercepted it. And in fairness to the lad, he drove forward Higgins, and I'd say when that left his boot, he felt he was going to nest into the top corner, but credit Shepard, he's pulled one out of the top drawer.
Scored twice last season, both goals in wins over Finn Harps and Sligo Rovers. Donal Higgins. And well, Dundalk survived that rasping effort. Can they survive this one? Behan with the header down. Andy Boyle puts it behind. And in quick time, UCD have another corner kick here. And Behan at the heart of a lot of UCD's opportunities. And he's come across to take this. Higgins, the player in support. Behan will go for the penalty area. And it's a dangerous one as well. Referee has spotted an infringement by a player in blue. Free kick to Dundalk. And they'll be glad to just take the opportunity to settle things down here, Dundalk. Because UCD have had their tails up in the last couple of moments.
And that penalty miss, that'll give them confidence. It'll have shook Dundalk. They would have thought this is an easy way in here. Go 1-0 up, and all of a sudden momentum switches, and UCD have come close on a couple of occasions.
Finn Harps 0, Galway United 1 in the First Division. Vincent Borden with the goal on 5 minutes for Galway in that one. And we do have a goal in the Premier Division, I understand. That's going to be a free kick to UCD. Alfie Lewis with the foul on Behan.
Really confident and sure, driving in from that right wing, Behan onto a stronger left foot, looking to either have a strike or slip somebody in, and Alfie Lewis just threw in the leg.
Well, Kieran Behan, as we said, scored twice during the week in that Collingwood Cup win, and he has carried that form and that confidence into this evening's game, and he'll take this one too, most likely. Behan looking for an area just the other side of the penalty spot. Dundalk do deal with it, and the shot on the volley, and it's come off a Dundalk head and gone behind. But UCD are very much the team in the ascendancy here at the moment, and it was Brendan Barr with the shot.
It's a good strike as well. He got good technique, that kind of side foot volley from outside the box, and it was on target, and it took a good header from Andy Boyle to get it up and over. They're growing in confidence the longer it stays 0-0. Usually they'll keep growing in confidence, and their belief will go up.
Donal Higgins with this latest corner kick for UCD. They've had a succession now in the last few minutes. In it goes. Dealt with by Ainsley. Behan will retrieve. Gallagher will return it into the penalty area, but straight into the hands of the Dundalk goalkeeper Nathan Shepard, who brings it up to the edge of his penalty area and looks to release the Lily Whites quickly. Flicked on by Greg Sloggett. Ryan O'Kane after it. The ball goes for a throw-in to UCD, who have very definitely grown into this game. 28 and a half minutes almost into it, and it's scoreless at Oriel Park. But UCD arguably have had the greater number of, certainly half chances, shots from outside the penalty area.
Yeah, they've created more than Dundalk. I mean, Dundalk got the penalty, but not a whole lot of chances aside from that. UCD, they sat in for the first 15 or so, 20 minutes or so. They've grown in confidence, and they're not overawed, and that they're growing and coming, they're starting to knock it about now, a little bit more confidence.
Certainly not overawed. I did ask Andy Myler before the game if UCD can bring the confidence of the second half of last season into this, or if they lost too many players, but certainly they seem to have brought that confidence into tonight.
Yeah, and as he mentioned himself, that they've had to have an awful lot of competitive games with that Collingwood, so they're used to playing with each other, so those partnerships will be there. And at the moment, they're the team that's dominating the last 5 or 10 minutes of the game.
Cork City 0, Bohemians 1. So Cork's return to the Premier Division not going according to plan. Grant Horton with the goal in 19 minutes for Bows. The difference between the teams. Still scoreless elsewhere in the Premier Division. Finn Harps 0, Galway 1 in the First Division. Wexford 0, Waterford 2. Waterford big favourites for promotion from the First Division. And UCD with another free kick here.
It's very noticeable too. They've quietened the crowd as well. The crowd have got very, very quiet under us. It's usually bouncing in the shed underneath us.
There's a crackle of nervousness amongst the Dundalk supporters as that Free kick is swung in, but way too deep. Nathan Shepherd happy to seize it. The Dundalk faithful anxious here at the moment with how UCD have played themselves into the game in the last few minutes. Pat Hooban offside. Dundalk, of course, finished last season with a memorable 2-1 win over Bohemians here. A victory that sparked celebrations as it confirmed the Lily Whites' return to European football after a season away. No celebrations here tonight just yet. Penalty miss by Pat Hooban midway through this first half, the closest they come to scoring. Harry Keane's header is out of play. Here's Ainsley now for Dundalk. Andy Boyle finds the chest of Hooban. Keane not allowing Hooban any space to get turned and release the ball. Throw in to Dundalk. Ainsley will take. Muller with the clearance. Hooban rises. Here is Pat Hooban. Another throw in for Dundalk on the left hand side. Perhaps this pattern of throw-ins will break the pattern of the game over the last few minutes. UCD definitely on the rise.
Yeah, Dundalk just lost their possession. They're not passing the ball with any fluidity anymore. UCD winning off out of the second balls, breaking balls in the middle. They're stronger in the challenge. They seem to be working a bit harder around that middle third. I think Alfie Lewis, Greg Sloggett and Malley, they've got to get back on the ball, start getting some possession for Dundalk.
UCD finding their rhythm at Oriel Park. Can Dundalk refine theirs? Here's Alfie Lewis now, and Conor Malley waiting on it. And certainly Brendan Barr didn't wait. Andy Boyle strong in the challenge to dispossess Alex Nolan. Hurried clearance away by Jack Keeney. Dundalk throw in left hand side. Here's Ainsley now. Barr is in ahead of Malley. Tries to shape one into the path of Danny Norris. Sloggett, and here's Archie Davies. He's an attacking fullback. We haven't seen much of it yet. Here it comes now though. He's run straight into it. UCD defender. And UCD will bring that away. It's a strong run, too strong. Ball carried out over the sideline.
It's a great run by Davies, and he just couldn't make up his mind what he wanted to do, whether he wanted to slip John Martin in the side or play it into Pat Hooban's feet. And he ended up doing neither, on straight into the defender. But that's what we need him doing more of. We need Ainsley doing the same this side, bombing up the wing, adding that extra man in the attack, just like he's done here. Here's
Ainsley. Ainsley, low drilled cross across the penalty area. Pat Hooban, oh! And it's in the bottom corner. And it's John Martin who's got the goal for Dundalk. And UCD have been the team in the ascendancy over the last 10 minutes or so, but Dundalk punished them with a goal from Martin, his first of the season, Dundalk's first of the season. It's Dundalk 1, UCD 0.
And just as I've been saying, that's what Dundalk need. They need the fullbacks getting up, wingers dropping inside, creating that space. Alfie Davis done on that side, and at this side Ainsley's done. He's gone bombing up the ring, great ball in along the deck, and Pat Hooban, I think he's trying to control it for himself, but it worked out perfectly. Just dropped to the feet of Martin, just slotted it into the bottom corner.
Ainsley with the low cross in, and John Martin sweeping it past Lorcan Healy for Dundalk's opening goal of the season. It may be much less than UCD deserve after the last 10 minutes that they've displayed here.
Yeah, they've done really well, UCD. Dundalk started brightly and faded, and UCD grew into it and had a couple of opportunities and played really well. But that's what Dundalk's got to do. They've got to be brave. They've got to get their fullbacks pushing on, creating extra men in the middle. And then John Martin, as you want your wingers doing, coming from outside to inside, looking for anything, and he just slotted it into the bottom corner. Really good composed finish by him.
2 goals John Martin last season. Well, he's halfway to that total already after 34 minutes of this, and Dundalk have it again, and it's Conor Malley, and that's good strength and good pace by Malley. Ryan O'Kane to his left, his touch just not what he would have wanted, cuts back onto his right foot. Has he been fouled? The referee says yes. Free kick to Dundalk.
Again, that's what we want, Malley driving the people and committing them. O'Kane's first touch just took it away, but when he came back inside, for me, he was just out-muscled. There wasn't a whole lot in it. But it again, Gallagher just, maybe the referee saying, put his hand on his chest and pushed him over.
Pat Hooban and Greg Sloggett, a little squabble over who's taking this one, I think.
Which one are we using from the playbook here?
Looks like the captain, his say, has held sway.
This is one, it's just so close, it's just hit the target.
4 men in that UCD wall. Can they stop Hooban getting this on target? Or Sloggett indeed. Looks like it'll be Hooban, and he's put it straight into that wall. It's come back to him, and he's flashed a shot over the crossbar.
It's always that tough one there to get it up and over, and he's just aimlessly kicked it at the wall. It was a poor execution.
A little more guile needed from Hooban.
It's so hard to get it up and over. Sometimes maybe you're just better off actually putting the foot through the leather on it and take a deflection off someone.
Very much a Keith Ward position, that one, John, isn't it?
It's just that little bit of cuteness, little bit of creativity and guile, as you've said yourself. Keith Ward does a little up and over the wall. Because it's so close that the keeper's very little time to react if you do manage to get it up and over.
Tom Baldwin, Jane Waldron, Tony Spud Murphy, Oliver Bradley, Richie O'Connor, and Ted the Dog all listening in this evening or watching in on LOI TV. Thank you for your company. At Adrian Taff or at Flano1978 on Twitter if you want us to give you a shout out during the commentary. Let us know what your hopes are for your side this season, be you a Dundalk or a UCD supporter. Dundalk leading by a goal to nil here. John Martin with the goal on 34 minutes. Pat Hooban had missed from the penalty spot midway through the half pretty much. UCD had grown into the game after that penalty miss, but they now find themselves behind. And Dundalk seem to have refound a little bit of hunger. Here's Healy. It beats Ainsley and Gallagher. Behan now. Kieran Behan, one of UCD's undoubted bright sparks in this first half, and he's tried an ambitious shot, over ambitious as it turns out.
He's definitely not lacking in confidence anyway.
Nathan Shepherd knows what the likes of Hayden Muller and Archie Davies and Conor Malley are going through here this evening. He was a New Dundalk player at this time last year, signed from Brentford B. UCD with a player down. He may need some attention. The referee is encouraging Kieran Behan to go off to get attention if he needs it. UCD will continue for the moment. A man light. May well be a footwear issue for Kieran Behan.
I don't know whether there's blood on his knee or... Initially I thought he'd no shin guard on, that was the problem.
Here's Hayden Muller now. Now it's with Alfie Lewis, trying to tread that through the eye of a needle towards Conor Malley, but Jack Keeney was in the way. Donald Higgins has dug that out for Behan now, who's back on the pitch. Still Behan, looking to get it onto that left foot all the time. The UCD move breaks down on the edge of the Dundalk penalty area. They have it back again though. Still UCD, they've worked this well, and there's space on the left of the area. Andy Boyle uses all his experience to position himself to get that away.
That's one thing we seen with UCD last year as well. They'll never stop. They'll keep going. Going behind is nothing new for them.
Those Waterford goals, incidentally, against Wexford in the first half, both scored by Wasim Awashuria. Wexford 0, Waterford 2. And here in the Premier Division, Derry City in front against St Patrick's Athletic. Jordan McInnes with the goal on 33 minutes for Derry City. Shelburne 0, Drogheda United 0 at Tolka Park. Cork City 0, Bohemians 1 in Turner's Cross. And here at Oriel Park, Dundalk 1, UCD 0. Davies, the goal scorer John Martin. He of course missed a good chunk of last season through injury as well. John Martin is a good run by the Kilkenny man. Throw into UCD though. I don't think we have seen the best of John Martin in the Dundalk shirt yet, John, have we?
No, I don't think so. I think himself and Alfie Lewis, probably between lack of games last year and injury, never really got up to full speed. So John Martin, that I know from the league over the year, he's a quality player. He's great pace, great power, and was a real thorn in Dundalk's side here for a number of seasons, and scored plenty of goals against us.
There's Ryan O'Kane, and he's away from Keeney, and O'Kane with the shot across the face of goal. Pat Hooban throwing himself at it at the front post. And warm applause for Ryan O'Kane for that run.
That's the first real opportunity he's gotten to get at the fullback, and he showed that he just picked up where he went last year. It was good defending initially by Jack Keeney. Just got an arm across him to slow him down because he had gotten a head start. But that's what you need, Ryan O'Kane. Give him the ball early, get at the fullback, get at the defenders, commit them one-on-one in and around the box, and get your crosses and shots in. He showed last year, the second half of the season, how adept and how dangerous he is at that.
So difficult for Jack Keeney too, especially when O'Kane reaches that penalty area. He has to be very, very careful.
Yeah, you can't tug him, you can't get a hold of his jersey, but he done well. He just got an arm across, and he just interrupted Ryan O'Kane's stride more than anything else. It slowed him down at just that half a yard.
Nathan Shepherd had to get his touch right then before clearing the ball away. Appeals for handball against John Martin. The referee, I think, has gone with the shout of the bench on the far side, because
the lines was looking at that.
Yes, the lines was looking rather than the referee.
But the lines are looking at it, and it hasn't raised his flag, hasn't called him, and he kind of just went with the shout there.
Free kick to UCD.
I've just gotten a message there. I've converted the sister-in-law to the newest Dundalk supporter, so hello to Grania. She's watching this evening.
Welcome to the fold, Grania. Hopefully you've picked a good year to start. Head-to-head between these two last year favours Dundalk, but only just. Dundalk won both matches here at Oriel Park. Things were much less routine at the UCD Bowl. First match there finished 2-2, and the second, a shock UCD win, 3-2. So Dundalk certainly didn't have it all their own way last season against the students, and not having it all their own way here tonight. They do lead by 1-0 though. Yeah,
I mean, as Stephen said himself, pretty much 5 points they dropped last year in the UCD Bowl, and I mean that could have been outright second for them last year, picking up any of those. And UCD, and again Andy said in his time, his pre-match talk, they've had so much time together since the off-season with college games, Collingwood Cup competition, that they're developing, they're still learning, and they haven't seen the best of these players. Unfortunately, I don't think we'll ever see the best of a UCD team, because when they get to that level and they're progressing so far, that they're snapped up by clubs with bigger budgets, and unfortunately Andy's just going to have to keep on working his magic year on year.
Alfie Lewis, ball comes off Kieran Behan last and goes for a Dundalk goal kick. We are well inside the final minute of the first half, final minute of the opening 45, and I can't imagine we'll have too much stoppage time at the end of this half. We did have a penalty kick, mind you, so that may well add a minute or two. And a Dundalk goal. Ian's flick on, gets it back from Nolan. Boyle away, up goes Gallagher. Here's Behan. Good control on the chest. Inside for Barr, who goes into a collision with Greg Sloggett. Sloggett not in control of himself in that collision, according to Arnold Hunter.
He looks a real player, Behan, to be fair. I think it's one of them catch-22s for poor Andy Myler when they're playing well. You go, don't be playing so well that someone else is going to take you off me, but Behan looks a real player.
Behan over this free kick again now. Once again, good shape on it. Oh, and it is a good shape on it too. Just a bit too high for Jack Keeney, and there was a player around the back as well. Too much pace on it for both.
You always know it's a good ball when the defenders are giving out to each other, and who should and you should have attacked that, and you should have really good ball, and they'd be disappointed usually that they hadn't got someone coming around the back post.
Well, we've a new club in the League of Ireland this season, Kerry FC, and they are opening their campaign in Tralee against Cove Ramblers. They're trailing by a goal to nil, and now Tiernan O'Brien with the goal for Cove. Here at Oriel Park, it's now half-time. Last whistle of the half by our referee, and that confirms a half-time scoreline of a goal to nil in favour of Dundalk. John Martin with the goal on 34 minutes, the difference between the sides. Pat Ubin missed the penalty around about midway through the first half, but despite some spirited showing from UCD in that half, Dundalk do carry a half-time lead into the break.
Yeah, I think, to be honest, to take the goal out of it, Andy Myler will probably be the happier of the two managers performance-wise. But just
Belezinha, galera. Intervalo do jogo lá em Dundalk, na Irlanda. Intervalo, a equipe da casa, o Dundalk Futebol Clube, vai vencendo o UCD, a Universidade de Dublin, 1-0. Gol do camisa 11, Martin fez o gol que deu esse placar magro na primeira etapa, né? Tivemos também um pênalti perdido, né? O camisa 9 do Dundalk, o camisa 9, o Orban. A pronúncia no inglês é diferente aqui do português, né? O camisa 9, o Orban, perdeu o penal, mas o 11, o Martin, fez o gol ali. Intervalo de jogo lá na Irlanda, primeira rodada do futebol irlandês 2023. O legal, né, o diferente aí do campeonato irlandês em relação a diversos campeonatos europeus, né? O campeonato irlandês começa aí em 2023 e vai terminar sim em 2023. São apenas 10 equipes, né, na disputa do campeonato. Né, temos aí 32 rodadas. Como assim 10 equipes e 32 rodadas? Isso mesmo. No primeiro turno são 9 jogos, tem o segundo turno mais 9, dá 18, depois mais 9 rodadas, né? Então você vai somando aí, são 32 rodadas. Beleza? É isso aí, tá certo? Das 10 equipes, apenas o primeiro colocado ao fim do campeonato, o primeiro colocado vai para Champions League, a Liga dos Campeões da Europa, na fase de qualificação, né? Fase de qualification. Já o segundo colocado e o terceiro lugar vão para a fase de qualificatória da UEFA Conference League. Beleza? O último colocado, apenas o último colocado, é rebaixado para a segunda divisão do futebol irlandês. Já o penúltimo lugar, que é o nono lugar, vai para os playoffs de rebaixamento, né? Ele vai enfrentar lá o segundo melhor colocado da segunda divisão da Irlanda. Beleza? Tudo certo? É isso aí. 10 equipes correndo atrás da bola. O campeonato se iniciando hoje. A League of Irlanda Premier Division. Entendeu? É a Liga da Irlanda Primeira Divisão, começando hoje, dia 17 de fevereiro, e vai até dia 3 de novembro. Começa 2023 e acaba em 2023, né? Diferente de diversos campeonatos aí da Europa. Beleza? Mandar um salve, mandar um abraço para o meu amigo aqui na live, o Adriano Machado participando. Adriano, aquele abraço, Adriano Machado participando na live aí, aquele abaixo. Temos aí o nosso intervalinho e tem bola rolando em outros jogos, né? Só para atualizar, o Lyon, o Olympique de Lyon lá na França, abre o placar para cima do Al-Shehrier 0, Lyon 1, isso lá na França. Na La Liga, no Campeonato Espanhol, tivemos, né, ali o gol do Girona anulado, mas logo depois o Girona fez outro gol. Então o Girona tem 2 e o Almeria tem 0. Isso na Espanha. Já na Itália, intervalo de jogo, bola rolando na Itália, intervalinho, Sassuolo 0 e a líder do campeonato, Napoli, tem 2. Intervalo de jogo na Itália, Sassuolo 0, Napoli 2. E nos Países Baixos, famosa Holanda, o Valvik está empatando com o Sittard em 1-1. Já na Liga de Portugal, o Gil Vicente está empatando com o Vizela em 0-0, hein? E tem mais um gol na La Liga. De novo, Girona. Girona 3, Almeria 0. E na Bundesliga, campeonato alemão, bola rolando para Augsburg 0. Hoffenheim também 0. Jogo aí com VAR trabalhando. 0-0 Augsburg e Hoffenheim. Beleza? Tá ligado? Aqui você não perde nada. Tá certo. Bola rolando também nos campeonatos estaduais nesse momento aqui no Brasil. Lá no Espírito Santo, Campeonato Capixaba, o Vilalense tem 0, Porto Vitória tem 2. Já no Ceará, na fase de mata-mata do Campeonato Cearense, o Pacajus tem 1 e o Barbara também tem 1. E tem gol na La Liga, é a La Liga 2. É o Cartagena 2, Real Oviedo 0. E também está rolando outros jogos aqui da primeira divisão da Irlanda, começando hoje o campeonato com 10 participantes. São 4 jogos hoje e amanhã tem mais um jogo. Os nossos 4 jogos de hoje, todos no mesmo horário, das 16h45, né? Horário de Brasília, o jogo marcado para as 16h45 do horário de Brasília, e lá na Irlanda marcado para as 19h45. Portanto, aí tem essa diferença de fuso horário. Outros jogos rolando nesse momento lá na Irlanda. Vamos lá. O Cork City está perdendo para o Bohemians 1-0. O Selborne está empatando com o Drogheda em 0-0 e o St. Patrick's está perdendo por Derry City 1-0. Aqui tivemos um gol do DUNDALK para cima do UCD DUBLIN, uma equipe da Universidade. O Adriano, salve Adriano, graças a Deus esse do de tarde não foi anulado. Bati minha meta nesse jogo e no Girona. Ó que bom, que beleza, faturou do Green. Vai passar o feriadão aí com um bolso cheio, Adriano. Parabéns. É isso aí, pessoal. Intervalinho que você participe, interaja. Já a bola vai voltar a rolar para segunda etapa. E eu estou aqui na expectativa para um jogo interessante, para uma bela partida do segundo tempo. Torcer para as equipes virem melhor, vir mais forcada, para tentar fazer aqueles 3 pontos, começar bem a competição, né? 10 equipes correndo atrás da bola, né? Vou repetir aqui os nomes para vocês, os times. Vamos lá. A equipe do Bohemians, lá de Dublin, joga o campeonato. Também o Cork City, o Derry City, o Drogheda United, o Dundalk, St. Patrick's Athletic, Shamrock Rovers, Selborne e também tem mais 2, o Sligo Rovers e o UCD Dublin. 10 equipes, né? O maior estádio é o estádio do Shamrock Rovers, que cabem 8.000 pessoas. Já o estádio do Dundalk, onde acontece esse jogo, É o Oriel Park, cabe 4.500 pessoas. São estádios todos pequenos, né? É isso aí. Mas bem organizado, bem organizadinho. A equipe do DUNDALK foi melhor, né? Fez um gol e ainda perdeu um penal. Não se assustou muito no jogo. Tá lá os torcedores em pé, aplaudindo. São poucos, mas estão ali cantando, acreditando, empurrando essa equipe. 1-0 é pouco, eu quero mais, hein? Intervalinho, já a bola volta a rolar para segunda etapa de, por enquanto, DUNDALK 1, UCD DUBLIN 0. Daqui a pouquinho voltamos com a segunda etapa.
Está chegando agora no canal? Não esquece de se inscrever e deixar aquele like. Seu apoio é fundamental para nossas transmissões. Times Brasil, a casa do futebol alternativo.
É apenas a primeira jornada do Campeonato Irlandês aqui na Times Brasil. E é no Girona, do Girona, bateu aí. Boa. Girona 3, Almeria 0, Alxerrier 0, Lyon 1. Jogos aí em andamento. Vamos lá, vamos para o segundo tempo. Já, né? Vamos aqui aguardando algumas imagens de outros jogos agora passando, né? Rapaz, teve aqui um joguinho e o zagueiro deu uma colaborada no gol, hein? Colaborou com gosto. Ainda hoje aqui no canal tem campeonato boliviano, hein? 7 da noite. Você não pode perder a nossa programação. Ainda hoje, 7 da noite, tem Blumen e Universitário de Vivo. Esse é jogo bom, ó. Daqui a pouco, né? Às 19 horas. Blumen e Universitário de Vivo. As equipes vão se organizando. Daqui a pouquinho tem a segunda etapa. É isso aí, num ritmo devagar, o meu, devido ao cansaço extremo. Mas estamos aí, galera. Obrigado pela sua presença, obrigado pelo seu like. Esse like é muito importante mesmo. Tá certo? Valeu demais. Vamos lá. As equipes vão retornando, programado. Torcer para todos virem bem, conseguir desenvolver o seu futebol. Estou só aguardando a bola voltar a rolar para começar a segunda etapa. Os dois treinadores se abraçam, eles se cumprimentam. Vai começar o segundo tempo. As equipes vão se organizando em campo. Em instantes, a segunda etapa de, por enquanto, DUNDALK 0, UCD DUBLIN 1.
Está começando mais uma jornada esportiva aqui na Times Brasil. A narração é de sucesso.
Está chegando agora no canal? Não esquece de se inscrever e deixar aquele like. Seu apoio é fundamental para nossas transmissões. Times Brasil, a casa do futebol alternativo.
É isso aí, pessoal. Bora pra segunda etapa. De, por enquanto, DUNDALK 1, UCD DUBLIN 0. No primeiro tempo com 6 escanteios. Um jogo equilibrado. E vamos ver agora na segunda etapa. Agora é pra valer. Agora é pra valer. A bola vai rolar, hein? E quando essa bola rolar, sai de baixo que a emoção promete. Tudo pronto, o árbitro tá ali organizando, tá ajeitando o seu relógio. É só meu juizão, é só começar. DUNDALK F.C. e UCD DUBLIN. Vai começar o jogo. Vai recomeçar a partida. Vai dar a saída a equipe do DUNDALK. Tá valendo. Começou. Bola rolando. Agora é pra valer. Eu quero ver. Quanto mais gol, melhor. Quanto mais gol, melhor. Vai pra cima deles. Quebra tudo. As duas equipes. Eu quero é gol. Quanto mais gol, melhor.
The Dave Rodgers era has begun, and his side were trailing by a goal to nil to Galway United, but they found an equaliser just before the break. Finn Harps won, Galway United won. Ryan Rainey from the penalty spot. Of course, Dundalk supporters and Dundalk people very familiar with Dave Rodgers, John, and they will wish him well up there this season.
Yeah, he's a very popular character. Obviously lives local, and I think everyone likes Finn Harps. I would have a soft spot for Finn Harps myself. They've always been the underdog, and they've always tried to, I suppose, play above themselves in the Premier Division. And would have been a big Ollie Horgan fan. I was sad to see him go, but best of luck to Dave. I mean, he's going to be up against it in the First Division, being a part-time club with a couple of full-time teams you're competing with there for promotions. It's going to be a tough year.
UCD with the ball in a menacing position here, and the attempted shot from Danny Norris comes off a Dundalk player last, and it'll be a corner kick first of the second half for UCD. They had a number of them in that first half, and they get the first of the second, a minute and a half in. Plenty of movement inside the penalty area, and in it goes. It's headed away by Ainsley, who's certainly shown plenty of usefulness in the air. Ainsley on occasion in the first half.
Yeah, and again, usually they're putting in very good balls into the box. The deliveries are excellent, so they're going to need the likes of Ainsley and Andy Boyle attacking those balls and winning the first up headers. I think as expected, I suppose Dundalk, they're a little bit sloppy. They just haven't got their partnerships going yet. The passes a little bit tentative at times. And UCD are on their toes, they're on the front foot, and they're really pinching anything that's under hit or sloppy passes.
Dundalk throw in, or UCD throw in rather, right hand side. Michael Gallagher. UCD starting the second half inside the Dundalk half. It's cleverly done, and it's Behan again, who was a tormentor in that first half for Dundalk at times. Dundalk do manage to deal with it. Alfie Lewis with the booming clearance away, and Dundalk have themselves a throw in.
I think if the game stays as it is later on, you might see Andy might gamble and put Behan right up front alongside Alex Nolan and try and create some chances for UCD, because he looks really good. He drove there right and picked the right option as well. Little pull back and created a good chance for UCD, but good defending from Dundalk.
For those of you just joining us on LMFM's online match service, Dundalk leading by a goal to nil. John Martin with the goal on 34 minutes. Dundalk had missed the penalty midway through the first half. Pat Hooban missing from 12 yards, or rather Lorcan Healy saving Pat Hooban's penalty. He'd actually conceded 8 penalties in his League of Ireland career before tonight, Lorcan Healy, including all 4 he faced last season. And tonight, his first penalty save in a game at this level. Free kick to the students. Cork City 0, Bows 1. Shelburne 0, Drogheda United 0, and St Pat's 0, Derry City 1. The latest in the other Premier Division matches this evening. Sligo Rovers get their season up and running tomorrow night against the champions Shamrock Rovers. A match you can of course see on LOI TV. Low-key start to the second half with UCD enjoying plenty of time inside the Dundalk half. Here's Andy Boyle. Wells out in front of Pat Hooban.
Yeah, just a scrappy opening, and from the Dundalk perspective they'll be wanting Alfie Lewis to drop into that little pocket in front of the back four and get on the ball an awful lot more and try and dictate the game.
Here's Keeney, the UCD captain. Andy Boyle's header. Greg Sloggett will compete, but he's beaten in the air. Hayden Muller is there for Dundalk, the ex-Millwall player. Away by Adam Wells, a new signing from Shamrock Rovers, along with Mike Hugh Raggett, who isn't in the squad this evening. Wells, a 19-year-old defender, partnering Jack Keeney this evening. Ainsley. Michael Gallagher's clearance. UCD looking to spring forward again, and here they come down the left-hand side. Cross not quite coming off. Really good composure on the edge of his own penalty there, penalty area. Alfie Lewis.
It's a really good run by Dempsey. Just couldn't make up his mind what he wanted to do and waited too long, and Sloggett blocked it. When he gets to the edge of the box, he just wants him to whip it in there along the deck.
John Martin away. Pat Hooban can't connect, and Ryan O'Kane will pressurise Michael Gallagher into the concession of a throw-in. Remember, if you're watching or listening this evening, at Adrian Taff and at Flano 1978. If you want to give us your opinion on how the game is going here this evening, or your team's activity in the transfer market. Are you happy with the Dundalk signing so far, Dundalk supporters, what you've seen of them? John, are you happy with the Dundalk signing so far and what you've seen of them?
I suppose it's probably early to tell. I'd like to see more of them, to be perfectly honest. Just looking at the bench for Dundalk, and only a few options there, realistic options going to come in and change the game for them, and there's a few untested, untried young players. But so far, I mean, Ainsley looks decent. He looks composed at left back. He's a big physical presence. Malley looks like he could be decent, could be quality. He actually has moments and flashes of quality. You just want to see how he can do it on the bigger stage, and can you do it on a regular basis. But Stephen seems to be very confident these players have the quality needed to step up and make a difference in the league. So hopefully, but we just seem to be a little bit behind other clubs in the league in terms of the numbers of signings and the quality of player. But I think we spoke about that off air ourselves, and it seems to be a couple of tiers now in the league, and in terms of financial packages that are available, and Dundalk have to face reality that they can't compete at that top tier anymore just at the moment.
He was very honest, wasn't he, John, in that pre-match interview, Stephen O'Donnell rather.
Yeah, he was. I mean, he said it himself. He said when he was here as a player himself, if Dundalk wanted to sign someone from Ireland as such, they go out and they got who they wanted. But now that if there's a couple of teams in the race, Dundalk are second favourites.
UCD corner kick. Referee has spotted an infringement in the penalty area, and we'll have a word. John Martin and Jack Keeney, the two players involved. Jack Keeney claiming there was a push.
I think the two captains, Andy and Jack Keeney, they've been at us at the very first set piece.
Another attempt at the corner kick from Kieran Behan into the front post. Nathan Shepherd is beaten to it.
Pat Hooban, as he does so often for Dundalk.
Here comes Sean Martin now. Hooban is forward. Ryan O'Kane appealing for it on the far side. It's O'Kane, the intended target of the ball. Well read though. by the UCD player.
Great run by O'Kane in the middle, and he was pointing early doors, and he just wanted John Martin to get his head up a little bit earlier and play it in behind, and just waited too late, and then just didn't get the correct angle on the ball. Easily intercepted.
Here's Davies now, looking for Sloggett, and Sloggett's touch just lets him down. Goal kick for the visitors. Well, UCD, they've had to wait quite a time for a win here at Oriel Park. Their last win at Oriel was back in May 2013. And the goal scorers on that day for UCD are recognisable names in Dundalk history. David McMillan with 2 and Robbie Benson scoring in a 3-2 win. Pat Hooban got the Dundalk double on that evening. O'Malley scrapping for it, but it's UCD. The ball breaks for it. They've given it away though. Here's Archie Davies. Now it's with Malley. Amalfi Lewis. Boyle back to his goalkeeper, Shepherd. Here's Andy Boyle again. Turns 32 next month, Andy Boyle. Experienced defender. He's a former UCD player himself. Played nearly 40 times for the students in 2009 and 2010. Shepherd comes from his goal, lofts one forward in the general direction of Ryan O'Kane and Pat Hooban. Called into action again here, the Welshman. Jordan Flores has got a second goal for Bohs against Cork City. Cork City 0, Bohemians 2. First goal scored by Grant Horton. And Flores off the mark on 54 minutes. Here's Michael Gallagher with the throw-in for UCD. The possession stats showing Dundalk in command in terms of possession. Hasn't felt like that certainly at the start of the second half, John, has it? I
don't know how those stats work, definitely, because it doesn't seem as anybody has been able to string together a number of passes. It's been very scrappy, not for the throw-ins and balls out of play.
Hayden Muller lofting one forward. Pat Hooban is after it. Wells with defending to do. Keeney has only managed to find Ryan O'Kane. O'Kane gets it out of his feet, finds space. John Martin is on the hunt and he's gone down.
Oh, he's given
and the referee has awarded a free kick to UCD. When the Dundalk supporters saw him put his whistle to his lips, they no doubt thought that there was a penalty kick on the way for Dundalk, a second of the game. Not to be. The referee has awarded the free kick
Adam Wells
to UCD.
There. It was great work by O'Kane on the left hand side, and he pulled in a lovely little ball. And in fairness, it was Wells and Martin both went for the ball. I thought Martin got there first, but obviously
here's a replay of the incident. Hayden Muller with the long ball forward. Pat Hooban competed for it. And Ryan O'Kane, as John said, did really well to just push it out ahead of himself and away from the defender.
There, he's so quick off the mark and he just whipped it in.
Well,
yeah, maybe it was a free. I think the defender got there first. Wells got there first, and John Martin, in going for the ball, I think Wells' leg wrapped around John Martin, maybe extended his knee slightly.
Good on the referee though, because I know there are some people who will argue that if an incident like that goes against the forward, that they should be booked. But that wasn't the case of John Martin trying to seek an advantage. It was an honest coming together.
Genuine attempt to get to the ball. He tried to get across the defender. The defender done really well. And I think just as he followed through on the ball, his leg did wrap around Martin. He looks in a lot of discomfort, definitely in his knee area.
Let's hope he'll be okay, Adam Wells. He's new to UCD this season from Shamrock Rovers.
I think you're right there, Aidan, as well. Just because there's a coming together, there's physical contact, it's not always mean there's dangerous play or there's a yellow card involved. He definitely doesn't look like he's going to be able to take any more part in this game.
Well, UCD readying a substitute on the far side.
Ryan Bowden.
Ryan Bowden, the player to come into the game, formerly of Bray Wanderers. So Adam Wells' evening is over. He's able to gingerly walk from the pitch, and he'll be replaced by Ryan Bowden, once of Bray. Made his first and only appearance for the club against St. Pat's in June last year. Ryan Bowden, and he'll be hoping to build on that this year with UCD. 19-year-old. He's a big, tall lad, isn't he, John?
Look, he's a big man coming on here, and he looks like another one who'll be up for the fight with Pat Hoover, and he's going to be tested. Just talking off air at half time there to the cameraman, you're gonna, how many teams in the League of Ireland don't have a representative from UCD at this stage? That they've such a high turnover rate and producing players year in, year out.
Dundalk have 5 of them in their ranks at the moment. Andy Boyle, Keith Ward, Greg Sloggett, Robbie Benson and Paul Doyle, and David McMillan of course left in the close season.
I don't think they get the credit they deserve by even just being able to put a team in the Premier Division every year and have it ravaged by the bigger clubs.
Well, people talk about the need for underage football and academies in Irish football. They have an academy, it's in UCD.
Unfortunately, for UCD's sake, everybody else's academy.
An hour played at Oriel Park. Dundalk leading by a 1-0. John Martin with the goal in 34 minutes. Second half has been a non-event pretty much. UCD free kick. No doubt, John, Dundalk with work to do to create understandings all over the pitch, really.
Yeah, it's just that lack of cohesiveness, the fluidity just isn't there. And it's tough to get used. 4 new players starting tonight. As Stephen said, they didn't know about even what the League of Ireland was 2 months ago. Now they're thrown in the deep end, and they're also playing with new players, and it takes a lot of time to get that understanding. You can see at times people are getting their head up and players are making the wrong runs or in the wrong positions, but that's just time to get, or they need time to bed in, and the likes of these competitive games will bring them on leaps and bounds, and hopefully you'll see a marked improvement week on week.
Dundalk throw in. Louis Ainsley. Broken for Conor Malley, and Malley just lofts that into the path of Ryan O'Kane, who's shown his pace here. O'Kane's shot it across Lorcan Healy, across the face of goal and wide. And once again, showing just how dangerous he is, Ryan O'Kane, when he gets goal side.
Great place. He's so quick off the mark. Once the ball's in behind, he's got in front. He's got the strength to get in front. And when he's got in there, maybe he had the opportunity to take a touch. He's gotten his body position in front. But if any touch at all, he's going to get a penalty. And he just didn't get the contact he wanted then when he took the early shot.
Lewis to Muller. Ball by Muller to Sloggett. Davies. John Martin. Just pokes it round the corner. Jesse Dempsey was there though. Martin, his flick doesn't quite deceive Dempsey. Here's Donal Higgins, away by Keeney. Harry Keane can't progress, Dundalk have it. Conor Malley looking for room inside the penalty area. Brendan Barr is there for UCD. And Barr happy to concede the throw into Dundalk. Better play from the Lily Whites.
Nice bit of crisp passing, one touch. And Malley, great skill there inside the box, created the opportunity for himself. Barr, with fairness, he walked back and defended really astutely, then put his body in the way.
Lewis to O'Kane. O'Kane back for Lewis again. So aware of the position of players around him. Alfie Lewis, great balance too. Greg Sloggett just caught as he got into up to the pace of the ball. Free kick to Dundalk.
Don't want to lose, but Slugger won't be thanking him for that pass. It was a real 50-50. He had to throw himself into that, Greg, to win it back, and all he could do was flick it around the corner and take the smack. But there's signs, there's flashes there that Dundalk, that something bubbling, that they're just going to need that the click. And that, again, that we said already, that's just time together.
Daniel Sexton with an interesting comment on Twitter. We'll come to that in a moment. Free kick for Dundalk. Conor Malley will take it. He'll try and loft it in behind this UCD defence for an on-running player. Well, he won't. He goes for goal, Conor Malley. Just tries to catch out Lorcan Healy.
I thought Lorcan Healy's starting position was quite high there. He was well outside the 6-yard box from that free kick, and Malley tried to catch him out.
Clever idea by Conor Malley. Everybody looking for the cross ball into the penalty area. Lorcan Healy relieved to see it go wide. Daniel Sexton on Twitter, he feels that the team perhaps needed another couple of friendlies. They did have a long break between their final friendly and the start of the season, and he's expected more from Lewis and Sloggett in midfield tonight.
Yeah, I did. We said that already, that we wanted, especially Alfie Lewis, to be the one in there dictating the game, getting on the ball and being that link man, getting the ball off the back four all the time. I suppose in the opening game of the season, you've got to credit UCD as well, that they've worked really hard, and by playing only one up front, this meant that they could have someone sitting on Lewis. But that's why we're going to need the two centre halves to be braver and get on the ball more.
Really good play by UCD again. Kieran Behan, I think it was, once more carrying it forward. They've wasted the opportunity though. But once again, Kieran Behan showing what he's all about off that right wing position.
Just the wrong option chosen by Norris there down the left hand side. That's a couple of times they've wasted great opportunities down there. I think going back to the friendly, I think they did it in that Royal United friendly. They looked a little bit undercooked, and as if a couple of games more would have done them well. And I know we had the Leinster Senior game postponed or cancelled or whatever happened in the end. That would have been another competitive game that probably would have brought them on.
Well, Louis Ainsley just caught late by Behan. He's okay though. Referee will have a quick word with the young forward.
I think UCD probably had as many games this week as Dundalk had in the whole pre-season.
It's true. With the Collingwood Cup competition, they played in consecutive days during the week. Here's Ainsley. Directs one across towards John Martin. One in the air by Jesse Dempsey. Martin. Still John Martin. Backed into a corner somewhat. Looks to force a corner kick. Has he managed to do so?
He has, yeah. He has. Done really, really well. He looked very bright, John Martin, today when he's been given the ball.
Dundalk corner kick.
Seems a bit more confident of a player than he did last year as well. He seems wanting to take people on and commit defenders and drive at people.
Alfie Lewis will go across to take this one. UCD readying a substitute on the far side. It'll be Lewis with the outswinger. Left arm in the air. He goes in low to the front post, flicked on by Conor Malley. And Jack Keeney gets it away. Nathan Shepherd. Gallagher. UCD player Alex Nolan is offside. Gallagher's header again. This will break for Dundalk. Greg Sloggett. Now it's Andy Boyle. Just the slenderest of margins between the sides here. Dundalk leading by a goal to nil. Here's Sloggett. John Martin peels away to the right hand side. Sloggett fancies a shot from some distance, and that's well over the crossbar. And it stays 1-0 for those of you listening on lmfm.ie tonight, as Fintan Kieran is. He's confusing Canadians at his workplace. Mark Dignam about to come in for UCD, and he will replace Danny Norris. Fintan Kieran in his workplace in Canada at the moment, letting out whoops and shouts. I don't think his workmates know exactly what's going on. Well, he's only had one real thing to shout about this evening, and that is the goal on 34 minutes. That is the difference between the sides. John Martin with it. Change for UCD. Mark Dignam into the game. Well established in the UCD midfield over the past 4 seasons, over 100 league appearances now.
Message from Niall Sharkey there. He said he'd love to see Keith Ward come on into the midfield to try and establish a bit of control for Dundalk. Maybe he's the one that can get on and try and dictate the pace, dictate the play for them.
Dempsey. Alfie Lewis was in. Dempsey is in again. Archie Davies too strong. No Boyle to Sloggett. Sloggett. Conor Malley can't get it under control. Jack Keeney nips in to win it back. Mark Dignam chasing after that. Here's Shepherd. Flicked on by Martin. And Malley. Brendan Barr just lets it roll under his foot. He's going to be yellow carded here. Hauls back Alfie Lewis, who seized upon the error. So Barr into the referee's notebook. No sign of any changes for Dundalk just at the moment. Still Derry, Cork City 0, Bows 2. Shelburne 0, Drogheda United 0 and St Pat's 0. Derry City 1, Kerry 0, Cove Ramblers 1 in the First Division. Treaty United 0, Bray Wanderers 0, Finn Harps 1, Galway United 1 and Wexford 0, Waterford 2. Here's Muller. He's sent Andy Boyle forward. Louis Ainsley gone forward too to join Pat Hooban and Greg Sloggett, the taller players in the Dundalk lineup. It's angled towards Andy Boyle, who gets something of a flick in it. Has it come off a UCD player last? The referee certainly is indicating so. Malley across to take the corner.
Very straight. I can see that maybe played out wide to Ainsley to whip it in from a better angle. Even if Andy Boyle gets ahead on that, it's not really going to cause much danger.
Well, there might be danger here from the corner kick. Conor Malley will in-swing this one. Plenty of players inside that congested 6-yard box. And it's a deep one, and it's towards Pat Hooban. It's come off Hooban's head. No control on the header, and that's gone behind for a goal kick to the home side. Well, the referee has given a corner kick to Dundalk.
Jack Heaney going mental, and he's dead right, I think, here. It's beaten everybody. Pat just couldn't reach it.
Pat was the last player.
Definitely kick out.
Well, can Dundalk take advantage? Andy Myler will be furious if they do. Corner kick, it's drilled this time. Pat Hooban was waiting for it. But it comes off a UCD player. Dundalk throw in. Hooban will leave it for Ainsley on that far side. Left hand side.
Dundalk, they're trying to be very creative from every corner, all different routines, and with the height they have, sometimes you just like to see a good ball just whipped into that danger area and let the lads go and attack it.
Ainsley. Here's Ryan O'Kane, a little dart, a little jink, and he's away, but he's overrun it. Goal kick at last for UCD. Referee just getting between Jack Keeney and Pat Hooban, who were continuing some sort of a spat between them.
Yeah, just as Ryan O'Kane made that burst down the line, Pat just gave him a little tug to get in front of him.
Lorcan Healy with the goal kick. Sloggett with the header. Hooban chasing it. Keeney with the defending to do, and Hooban still after it. And it's hooked away successfully. Dundalk throw in. Dundalk have started to assert themselves on the game in the last 10 minutes or so. Ainsley looking to cross it in. Hooked away again by UCD. Dundalk at the moment heading towards a first home win of the season in their first match of the season. Their home form really was the bedrock of their run to European qualification last season. In their last 27 home matches in all competitions, dating back to the FAI Cup second round win against St Moctus in August 2021. Dundalk have won 20 of those 27 and lost just twice, drawn 5. It's a remarkable home record, John, isn't it?
It is, and the only one that springs to mind was the loss, was that Pat's loss. That was the last minute, probably didn't even deserve it. So the home form has been phenomenal, and I think if you bring that back, that probably coincides with crowds coming back into Oriel Park, and with such a huge X factor for Dundalk when the fans are here.
Pat Hooban has won that. Here's Conor Malley. Malley with players around him. Still Conor Malley. And has he found Hooban? He has. Hooban with the shot. It's blocked. Might it break for Martin? No, it's away by UCD. Andy Boyle does really well to hold off Alex Nolan and guide it down to his central defensive teammate Hayden Muller, and Muller does less well to put that out of play.
Really good play with Pat Hooban initially, and his centre, I think he played it for the run of Alfie Lewis going down through the middle, and Malley just nicked it. He wanted Malley to step over it. Lewis had made a great run, would have been clean through.
UCD throw.
Turn into a real lull now again, the game with very little quality on show, and Dundalk need to up the tempo to try and see this out, because the longer it goes on you can see UCD getting another chance.
Sloggett straining to get control in that header, doesn't quite manage it. Alex Nolan pokes it forward, and here comes Bean again. Is he a player in support? He does, and that's going to be a foul. Free kick awarded to UCD, and this is in a really good position here, and a yellow card shown too.
Conor Malley, was he pushing the back, yeah. And Bean came charging across, and there might just be someone left hand side.
You can see why Conor Malley panicked and conceded the free kick, but there was a lot of Dundalk players between the UCD player and goal.
Yeah, it's a dangerous one here, and this is a nice distance out, far enough out to get it up and over. And Jack Keeney came storming down through the middle as if he wanted to hit it.
Jack Keeney.
Good play with Behan again, wasn't it?
Really good play again by Behan. An unceremonious push by Conor Malley, and a chance for UCD. Jack Keeney over this. So too Kieran Behan. Which will it be? Right foot of Keeney, left foot of Behan. Nathan Shepherd awaits it. And it'll be Behan. It's over the wall, it's on target, and it's in! It's a wonderful free kick by the young man. Superb strike. Nathan Shepherd beaten. And Dundalk have conceded, and UCD have shocked the Lily Whites. It's Dundalk 1, UCD 1.
Excellent free kick, and we said earlier, it's just that distance, he can get it up and over the wall. And we said I fancy the left foot from that side, and he's the one UCD player all night who's looked a real handful, a real threat. He's got the quality, he's been scoring goals regularly in Collingwood and student games. But from a Dundalk perspective, it's a terrible free kick to give away. No need to cynical foul. And again, we said already that if Dundalk didn't assert themselves and get a grip of this game, that UCD will get an opportunity, and they've got the first one, they've taken it.
Well, he's been a danger man all evening for UCD. Scored twice, as John said, in the Collingwood Cup final against UL on Wednesday. Brilliant left-footed strikes both, and that's another brilliant left-footed strike by Kieran Behan. He's a star on the rise, and Dundalk are pegged back by UCD. Dundalk 1, UCD 1, and Dundalk with 12 minutes to try and re-establish a lead here. UCD with 12 minutes to try and shock the Lily Whites well and truly. 1-1. And Dundalk now look to the substitutes bench. Paul Doyle certainly one of those to be introduced. I think Cameron Elliott may well be the other. for Dundalk. We'll see in just a moment. Conor Malley, the player who conceded that free kick, making his way across. So too Alfie Lewis. Paul Doyle certainly into the game, and Cameron Elliott into the forward line alongside Pat Hooban. Well, Dundalk supporters very familiar with Paul Doyle, less so with Cameron Elliott. Not many will be familiar with Cameron Elliott, signed from East Kilbride in the Scottish Lowlands League in January. 16 goals in 24 appearances this season, including 15 in 21 league matches. But at what standard is the question, and can he translate that to the League of Ireland? He has managed 3 goals in pre-season. Can he carry that form into the match here this evening? He'll go into the forward line alongside Pat Hooban. Cameron Elliott.
He definitely has an eye for goals, so Dundalk will be hoping to create an opportunity for him to test himself at this level. But Paul Doyle, I think the game's been crying out for someone like Paul Doyle just to get on the ball and dictate the play. He's always shown for the ball from the back four, and he's another one who Dundalk missed last year when he had that injury spell.
Shot from John Martin. A round of applause going around Oriel Park in memory of the late Roy Mackin, who passed away recently. A great Dundalk supporter and worker for the club as well. He'll be missed by all. Yes, Goravanam. Here's Archie Davies. Now John Martin. Martin forces the throw in for Dundalk. A round of applause in memory of Roy Mackin. Missed by many. Huge outpouring on social media and remembrances of the man in recent days. Here's Andy Boyle. Less than 9 minutes of the 90 remaining, and Dundalk now pegged back by UCD and chasing a lead goal again. John Martin, who got the opening goal of the game in the first half, forces the throw in. Finn Harp's 1, Galway United 2 is the latest in the First Division. Muller forward. Elliott against Keeney. It's broken for Hooban on the turn. And Hooban with the shot. And that ball has come off a UCD player and gone behind. There were some appeals, I think, for a handball. Never likely.
I think it may have struck his arm, but it was a wonderful strike with Pat Hooban. Headed inside and he hit it full. No, straight inside the jaw. That's a sore one.
Ryan Bowden, introduced to the game only a short while ago.
That'll wake him up.
Corner kick for Dundalk, and the referee will have another word with some of the players.
Dundalk are going to have to do in these last 10 minutes what they haven't done, and show some urgency and lift the play, have some impetus in their game.
Corner kick drilled in again. Andy Boyle couldn't get anything on it. Away by UCD. Dundalk will try and return it. Left-footed into the penalty area again. Greg Sloggett tries to rise, headed away once more, and cleared again by UCD. And they're standing firm against the Dundalk pressure at the moment. We're going to see another couple of changes for Dundalk. And John Martin will make way for Keith Ward. And Ryan O'Kane will make way for Daniel Kelly, who's something of a surprise inclusion on the bench this evening. He missed all of the pre-season matches, I think, through injury. Was fit enough to be included this evening, and he's in for Ryan O'Kane.
Yellow card by Hayden Muller. He missed his clearance and UCD centre forward. He was away. He was a long way from goal, but he had to pull him back, hold him back with the shorts.
So Dundalk changing the alchemy in the team with Keith Ward into the middle. It looks like he's come over to this right hand side, and Daniel Kelly onto the left for the moment. Ward scored twice against UCD last season, his former club, in the 3-0 win here in July and the 3-2 defeat at the UCD Bowl in September.
Sometimes bringing that many people on can disrupt the game, disrupt the flow, and that's not what Dundalk need. Dundalk need to get a hold of this and really lift the tempo.
UCD free kick here. Might they steal it? Is the question. It'll be Kieran Behan again with that left footed. Angles it into the penalty area, headed away by Archie Davies. Back again by Barr. Straight into the hands of Nathan Shepherd. 5 minutes of the 90 remaining. Away by Jesse Dempsey. Picked up in midfield by Dara Keane. Jack Keeney will allow that ball run back to his goalkeeper. Cork City have got one back against Bohemians at Turner's Cross. Cork City 1, Bohemians 2. Andy Boyle's header. Pat Hubin challenges. Daniel Kelly fully recovered from a hamstring injury, and he looks fully recovered too, the pace at which he closed that ball down.
That's definitely how you test it. He just took off. And another one who was missed last year.
Lovely turn by Kelly. It's a deep one. It'll break for Keith Ward inside the penalty area, and he's teed up the shot from Archie Davies. Appeals for handball. Referee says no. It'll be a corner kick for Dundalk. Davies took the opportunity to rifle it towards goal. Certainly came off a UCD player, but what part of the body is the question. This might show us the replay. Difficult to tell. Corner kick for Dundalk. Into that scrum in the 6-yard box, headed away. They'll try again. Keith Ward once more with the corner kick. 3.5 minutes of the 90 left on the clock. In it goes again into that mixer, and it's over the crossbar by a Dundalk head.
There's Greg Slow get the final touch on it, but come back to that, was a wonderful strike by Davies. He hit it really, really well, and I think it was Jack Keeney at the back. I don't think it was a penalty. I think his hands were in front of his chest, if anything, and he had no chance to react. He definitely weren't away from his body.
Goal kick for UCD. I don't know about you, John, but I sense this game will see another chance.
I think it could be a chance for both sides the way this game is going.
Ainsley's header. Greg Sloggett manages to find Hubin, and Daniel Kelly is after it, and he's just a little too quick for the ball, runs underneath it somewhat. UCD defend it. Dundalk throw in. Nobody. Well, Louis Ainsley will take it. Ainsley to Dan Kelly. Dan Kelly turns again. Here's Paul Doyle. Now in by Sloggett. Straight into the hands of Healy, who gathers it at the second attempt. Andy Boyle's header. Elliott competes for it, and according to the referee, illegally. Free kick to UCD. Alex Nolan loiters in the UCD forward line, and the ball is directed beyond him. Andy Boyle's header, throw into UCD, in a good position from which to mount an assault on Nathan Shepherd's goal. Clock ticking closer to the final minute of the 90. And UCD with a chance to apply some pressure here. Thrown into the corner. Maybe they're happy with a share of the spoils at Oriel Park. Certainly more than many would have expected them to achieve here this evening. Another throw, and we are inside the final minute of the 90. Dundalk desperate for the ball back, and they have it. Goal kick. Nathan Shepherd to take. Shepherd. Cameron Elliott with the flick on. Daniel Kelly is on the run. And good defending. Getting across well. The UCD goalkeeper, Keeney. Or not keeper, captain rather.
He done really well because Dan Kelly, he was blazing through the middle there. And he looked favoured to get ahead of Keeney, but Keeney done well, stood up and made the clearance.
Swung in towards Elliott. It's come off a UCD player. It's gone behind. Dundalk corner kick. We're inside injury time, and there'll be 5 minutes of that. Keith Ward with the corner kick. Dundalk go for a different tactic and vacate the 6-yard box. Some of them in it goes, and the referee or the goalkeeper is brave. The referee blows his whistle. York Healy slams the Oriel Park surface.
Full-blooded by the keeper there. He done really, really well on the pressure from Paul Doyle. Just to coming together in the air. I think he'll be fine. Just a painful one.
And crucially for UCD, this will chew up a few more vital seconds. Seconds that Dundalk would much rather spend chasing a lead goal. Elsewhere in the Premier Division, Cork City 1, Bohemians 2, Shelburne 0, Drogheda United 0, St Patrick's Athletic 0, Derry City 1. In the First Division, Kerry FC 0, Cove Ramblers 2, Treaty United 0, Bray Wanderers 1, Finn Harps 1, Galway United 2, and Wexford 0, Waterford 3. Norcan Healy back to his feet. He can continue. And he's eaten up about 45 seconds. What a great start to the 2023 season this would be for UCD to come to Oriel Park and snatch a point more than they managed here last season. Ainsley under this for Dundalk. And it's out for a throw-in, and UCD might fancy their chances of snatching more. 3 minutes of time added on remaining. Michael Gallagher in front of the UCD bench. Gallagher's throw. Andy Boyle across for Dundalk. Daniel Kelly. Really good feet over there by UCD. Once again trying to hold the ball in the corner and waste more time. Dundalk scrapping for it. It's UCD then emerge with the ball though.
Someone beating again, goes.
And that'll be a free kick to the students. And again, will they hold it in the corner? Will they put it in? Jack Keeney certainly coming forward, and Ryan Bowden to add their physical presence inside the penalty area. They might take this chance to put it in and go for goal and try to snatch 3 points from Dundalk here. Being very definitely the favourite to take this. Once again, that left foot, and try and swing that in towards Nathan Shepherd's goal and look for a flick. It's towards the front post. Keeney can't quite connect with it. Away by Dundalk. It's Dundalk doing the defending here in injury time. Not what they would have wanted. And the ball is broken for Mark Dignam. Dignam into the middle to Higgins. Higgins away from Davies. Muller in his way. Still Higgins, and Muller is forced to concede the corner kick.
Yeah, it's good play by UCD. They're penning Dundalk back. They're really asking questions. Interesting there, even from that free kick, Dundalk had nobody outside of their own penalty area, so even if it did break, they would have found it hard to get up the field. So it's UCD doing all the pressuring here.
Another corner kick for the students. Can they snatch a winning goal? Dundalk get it away. Daniel Kelly competes. Keith Ward heads it on. Returned by Michael Gallagher. Dundalk can get it down now with Paul Doyle. We're inside the final minute of time added on. Long one forward. Who will it break for? UCD, Bean, he's given it away. Dundalk have the possession. They're urged forward by the support. Archie Davies goes long. Lofts one into the penalty area towards Sloggett, towards Hubin. Who will it break for? UCD. Dundalk put it back in again through Ainsley. A player goes down. Sloggett tries to protect it, away by UCD once more. Andy Boyle, he has it stolen from him by Alex Nolan. And UCD now, surely, have done enough to take a point at Oriel Park. Throw in for UCD. Michael Gallagher in no real hurry to come forward inside the last 10 seconds. And the referee's aware of that. And the whistle is moments away. Nolan. UCD being forced backwards. That's very composed play. And it's another throw in to the visitors. Well, we are over the 5 minutes allotted by the referee. And the visitors taking their time with this throw. Corner kick for the students again here. UCD corner kick. This might be their moment.
Beleza, pessoal, beleza? Quem tá falando é o Lucas Bazarello. Fim de jogo terminou lá na Irlanda, a primeira rodada da elite do futebol irlandês. Fim de papo. Um pro DUNDALK, um também pro UCD DUBLIN, equipe da universidade. Empatou aí 1-1 na abertura do Campeonato Irlandês, né, da temporada 2023, né? Muitas pessoas foram aí nas apostas, né? Apostando na equipe da casa, o DUNDALK, que tem 8 títulos do campeonato irlandês, né? Realmente é uma das 3 forças aí, uma das 2 principais equipes da Irlanda, mas não deu. Não deu. A equipe, na primeira etapa, né? O time da casa, o DUNDALK, ele perdeu um pênalti, né, com camisa 9, o Orban perdeu o pênalti. Depois o camisa 11 ali, o Martin, fez o gol, né, abriu o placar e, né, agora bem na reta final do jogo, né, a equipe da universidade, o UCD DUBLIN, empatou. A equipe do DUNDALK tentou ali fazer o 2-1, mas não conseguiu. Fim de papo trágico aí para nossas amigas aqui na audiência, pessoal participando, né? Tá aqui a Beatriz Araújo, pistola da perdeu 200 conto, Beatriz. Respira fundo, dias melhores virão, né? É isso que eu tenho para dizer. A Alice Paiva também acabou o fim de papo, terminou, gente. Também deu head, muitas pessoas no head aí, valeu aí a Alice Paiva, a Beatriz Araújo participando conosco na audiência aí. Deixa eu ver mais quem mandou mensagem aqui no chat, no YouTube. A Francilene França mandou mensagem também aqui no chat, o pessoal participando. Valeu, galera, valeu. As meninas aí postando. Muitos foram de DUNDALK, Se você pintar aqui no Brasil, o pessoal te pega na esquina, hein? Fica esperto aí. Dundalk, toma cuidado. Você perdeu aí... Não perdeu, né? Mas esse resultado é trágico. E olha só, lá na La Liga tá rolando uma porrada, hein? Girona 6, Almeria 1. Girona 6, Almeria 1. Isso lá na La Liga. Aqui acabou 1-1, fim de papo. Valeu, pessoal. Até a próxima. Vou correr aqui, porque incrível que pareça, ainda eu vou fazer mais um jogo pra vocês aí. Blumen, Campeonato Boliviano, jogo do Blumen, vai começar agora, né, às 19 horas, Blumen e Universitário de Vinto, lá na Bolívia. Tchau, valeu Brasil, fui, até daqui a pouquinho. Acabou, Alice, fim de papo, valeu, volto daqui 15 minutos com o Campeonato Boliviano, fui. Obrigado pela audiência, deixa o like, por favor, tchauzinho, até breve. Times, Brasil, paixão pelo futebol.